Hello everybody, Baltmatrix here, and today we're taking a look at Transformers, Siege, War for Cybertron Trilogy, Battlemasters, Firedive, Lionizer, Blowpipe. Let's open them up and take a look. Out of their packaging, the little Battlemasters are pretty small, but they are most definitely bigger than a Prime Master or a Titan Master. Overlord's Titan Master for scale. They do also scale well with a Sharkticon in Sharky mode. Blowpipe is somewhat reminiscent of his original G1 figure. The coloring on the blue is a much lighter blue than that original figure, but the overall aesthetic works, and he's got the pipe sticking out of his chest. Face is still green, which I do appreciate, and the Decepticon symbol is still on his upper left chest, just like that original figure. Now, the original figure does not have a flip-out gimmick like this for the transformation. The actual cannon in that figure is sticking on the back of his back. Well, it is his backpack. It's more like this. So, not exactly G1 accurate, but who cares? Transformation for this little dude is very simple, but before we do that, posability, ball joint in the shoulders, ball joint in the hips. That's it. That's all you're getting. Transformation, very simple. Take the gun that's on his backpack, flip it up over his head, combine his legs together, and they should snap together. Fold them up and over the entire top of the figure until they rest neatly in these little grooves that are at the back of the gun barrels. And then his arms will slide up and peg into the air gap pegs in his hips. And there we go. I think this works really well. This is a good little gun. And then when you attach his Fireblast, which just is soft plastic, but it's molded really well, and I think works really well, that looks legitimately rad. That really does. This Fireblast gimmick also can connect to any other weapon. The Fireblast gimmick on its own is so cool. I love that they're doing this, finally. Or they're finally doing it in a way that just works. It's so nice. It's just a nice extra bit to these little dudes. A lot of fun. Really a lot of fun. And this figure can be held by any other larger Transformer. Heck, I mean, even Legends class figures can hold him. The Fireblast gimmicks are so flexible that, heck, I mean, even the Sharkticon can barf one. Lionizer is equally very impressive looking, though he is all black and then silver and gray with red in the eyes and a little Autobot symbol there at the top of his head. I do appreciate the effort put into that super tiny little Autobot symbol. I would really like some more color on this dude. Maybe, I don't know, paint him all yellow or paint him another color that isn't black that shows off the molding of the toy. I mean, there is some nice molding here. Transformation, very simple. Grab the giant sword gun that's on his back, but fold it all the way back to form a tail. Take his head and grab it and flip it up. Well, you're supposed to be able to flip it up underneath the body, but it is very tight to do that, or very hard to do that, because of the clips. And then just kind of flip the legs around until they're out of the way. But one really nice thing is the tips of the toes of the front of the legs peg into the hind quarters, right there where my finger is. So everything holds together, and you get this nice sword that works well, even though you could see like a lion sticking off on the bottom of it, which is just weird. The RS Fire Steel Saber pegs into the back of the weapon to give you this slashing gimmick, which, okay, whatever. And before you ask, yes, any of the other bits or Fireblast gimmicks can attach to the front, but the peg at the front of the sword is, or the tip of the sword, is just a wee bit too small to hold them on. Hound might not be the best figure to show this off, but I do think the effect works if I could just get the figure to look like it's moving forward with a slash of the sword. It's a nice effect. I like it. I think it works well. Last up is Firedive, who I like as a robot, but I don't think it's nearly as neat looking as Blowpipe, simply because of the black on white. The black really hides a lot of the molding of the figure. I do appreciate the red Autobot symbol on the top of his head, the red face, and the little red on the chest, but otherwise I think it could use just a bit more paint, or have been molded in a slightly different color. Posability is the same as Blowpipe, ball joints in the shoulders, ball joints in the hips. Transformation is simply flip the cannon up above his head and peg it into where his chest is, right there. Though mine has a little bit of an issue with the way that the pins in the back are. There's just little plastic pins. Next part of the transformation is combine the feet together, and unfortunately the guns keep falling off. Push the hips up as far as they will go, and then you can swing the feet up over the head and the front of the robot mode and peg them into place right there at those little peg holes, like that. And then, like Blowpipe, the inside of the wrists, there are tabs that will peg into the hips, like that. And you get this cool black and white gun. Would love to see some more paint for the missiles. I could do that myself, not that big a deal. The Fire Strike or Fireblast gimmicks or effects peg into the very front of the double cannon, work well, and again, you can peg those into just about any other gun in the line. The only negative thing that I've been able to find with these three figures, other than, just aesthetic-wise, is that Firedive's peg, or the peg that he uses to peg into the hands and different other spots on toys, is just a smidge too small. It's just like a millimeter off, which is weird. But, oh well. I guess I can fix that. The overall aesthetic of all these little dudes is great, and so far I am loving Siege. Every figure I've found to be fun. Every idea that Hasbro has thrown into the line is fun. These Battle Masters are fun. As the line comes to a close next year, it's going to be a real royal pain in the butt to keep track of these little Fireblast pieces, but, oh well, that's what zip-top baggies are for. So folks, let me know what you think of these little Battle Masters down in the comments. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe buttons, and hit that bell so you know when a new video is out. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Baltmatrix, and I will catch you next time.